So following yesterday's Divine Liturgy, I've come to the conclusion that there is no such thing as a coincidence in Divine Liturgy. I want to share with you my testimony from Divine Liturgy yesterday of just some coincidences that have happened, but all we all know is from the providence of God, and all glory to Him and all praises to Him. So the first thing was that I wasn't even going to go Divine Liturgy on Sunday. As usually when I have a Saturday English Divine Liturgy, that's my Divine Liturgy for the week. I don't usually go the next one because it can be a bit of a trek. But the Archbishop was there and he inspired me to go ahead and go to Divine Liturgy on Sunday because he said, hey, just because you've gone Divine Liturgy today doesn't mean you should go to the Greek one on Sunday. So I was like, cool, I'm going to go to my local parish and let's go to the Divine Liturgy. Let's take action on this inspiration. And as we arrived, my girlfriend pointed out the picture of the Archbishop who was there in the church. And, you know, it was just kind of cool to see a picture of him there because he's the one who inspired us to go on that Sunday. So turns out he's actually the Archbishop of that church as well. He's Archbishop of like 150 churches, which is amazing. It was a blessing to have met him. And by going there, I was actually able to meet someone who watches the YouTube channel. Thomas, it was great meeting you, bro. I hope you're watching this video now. If you're not, then I'm speaking to no one. But yeah, it was a blessing meeting you, man. I'm glad you're turning up to Divine Liturgy at the same time as me. It was a blessing to be able to meet you. All by God's providence, all glory to Him. And it was great conversing with you, and I hope to see you again soon. And during the Divine Liturgy, the Gospel reading was of St. Thomas. Doubting Thomas, believing Thomas, whatever you want to call him. I like to call him believing Thomas now because it's more hopeful, it's more faithful than doubting Thomas. And funnily enough, my girlfriend's Indian, and he's actually, St. Thomas, he's actually the saint who went and evangelized in India. He was one of the first evangelists in India and set up many churches. I remember reading the other week that some evangelists actually went to India one time expecting not to find any Christianity there, maybe expecting to find Hinduism, Sikhism and all these other religions, but they actually found churches, prospering churches. And that's all thanks to St. Thomas. So it's quite a cool touch for her to be there, being Indian, to hear that story. It probably inspired her internally. I haven't asked her how she felt about it, but you know, that's just me speaking for her. And then one of the other coincidences that happened was as the Divine Liturgy was taking place and they went behind the altar, they normally put a curtain behind it. They're very secretive in that church when it comes to doing the Eucharist, it seems. And as they were doing it and the chanters, the readers, were singing Psalm 135, I'm sure if I played it right now, you'd recognize where that's from. So as they were playing that song, there was a huge window in that church and the sunlight started shining through. And during this time, I was feeling a lot of joy, a lot of peace and a lot of acceptance in my heart. All praise and all glory to God. And I saw the sun rays shining in and it just kept getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And I looked at one of the old men next to me who was just on the other side. And I saw him also looking at the window, popping a little smile and bowing his head. And I'm sure he had the same realization to me that that was not just sunlight, that was the glory of God shining through. All praise to Him. And it's just a lovely touch to having Divine Liturgy when the sun shines into the church. And when we left, it was actually cloudy. It turned out to be quite a cloudy day. It started raining later. But just at that moment, that 45 minutes of Divine Liturgy, the sunlight decided to shine through. And it wasn't just like shining all the time. It just suddenly started shining through super brightly. And that's not coincidence that it happened at the peak of the Divine Liturgy. And also speaking to the priest afterwards, he actually says a lot of people come to that church. It's more than 100 years old. And they often say they love the church. They have a very personal connection to it. And that's something I did keep in mind when I was going to that church. I'm used to going to a huge cathedral. This time I was going to a smaller church. And I said to myself, I was like, you know what? I actually can't wait to go to a small church because it's going to be more intimate. It's going to be more closed in. And that's exactly what it was. It was a very packed out church and it was a wonderful Divine Liturgy. And as I was leaving, Father Haralabos came over to me and gave me some cards. It was quite cool. He pulled them out, you know, in primary school when you have match attacks, you pull them out. He pulled out a bunch of cards of icons and he gifted me these two icons of the Saint Demetrius of Thessaloniki. Now, funny enough, I was talking to someone on Instagram, a good friend of mine from Greece, and he said to me, hey, I'm going to Thessaloniki for a pilgrimage or for a visit. I'm not sure if it's actually a pilgrimage, but he goes on a lot of pilgrimages, so I'm going to call it that. Yeah, he's going on a pilgrimage to Thessaloniki. And at that time when he told me, I didn't know that that was the patron saint of that place. I didn't even know this was Saint Demetrius. I was still trying to figure it out. And then as I found out that this is the martyr, Saint Demetrius of Thessaloniki, all praise to God, I was like, wow, that is a coincidence, is it not? Of all the cards that he gave me of the stack, he gave me Saint Demetrius and my friend's actually visiting Thessaloniki. All praise and all glory to God. But yeah, man, I'm convinced now that there is no such thing as a coincidence in Divine Liturgy. When the light shines through during Divine Liturgy, give all praise to God. That is the light of God coming through to the glory of what is happening within that divine miracle. And he is showing his presence in the most beautiful way, lighting up the church, giving it life. And I'm very excited to return to that church. I'm going to go to the Vespers when I'm back from Greece. And very excited, man. Very, very excited to head to Vespers because I've heard many great things about it. I don't know what to expect. I've never really Googled it or anything. I've just heard people say when they go Vespers, it's a glorious experience. But nonetheless, I thought I'd share with you this testimony and why I've come to the conclusion that there are no coincidences in Divine Liturgy. All praise to the God. May the peace of the Lord be with you. Join the Discord below. God bless.